Did you know an empire once stretched from the edges of Greece to the Indus Valley? It was larger than any empire that had come before it in history. This empire was truly vast. Messages carried by royal couriers took many weeks to cross its sprawling lands. Yet many people today barely know its name or its incredible story. We speak now of the Achaemenid Persian Empire, an empire that for a time seemed to touch the very sky itself. Its scale was breathtaking, a world united under one ruler. Its beginnings, however, were remarkably humble. A small group of people, known as the Persians, lived in a region we now call Iran. For many long years they were subjects of other, larger and more powerful kingdoms. They paid tribute to foreign masters and served in their armies. Few observers at the time could have ever predicted their extraordinary destiny. Their swift journey from relative obscurity to immense world power is truly a remarkable tale. It is a story of ambition, vision and conquest. This rise changed the ancient world forever. The world back then was a complex patchwork of kingdoms and independent city-states. Great powers like Babylon, with its towering ziggurats, dominated Mesopotamia. Egypt, ancient and mysterious, controlled the fertile lands of the Nile. Lydia in Anatolia was famed for its incredible wealth and gold. These were ancient civilizations, each with long histories of might, culture and warfare. The Medes were another powerful group, and the Persians were initially under their firm rule. This was the grand stage upon which a new, dynamic power would soon rise, a power that would overshadow them all. What caused this dramatic change? A leader emerged from the Persian ranks. His name was Cyrus. History would later call him Cyrus the Great. Cyrus was not merely a conqueror, driven only by a thirst for battle. He was a visionary. He was a leader with new ideas. He dreamt of an empire different from those brutal empires that had preceded him. An empire built not just on overwhelming force, but also on a novel idea of kingship. He envisioned governance that included tolerance and respect for diverse peoples. His remarkable story marks the true, astonishing beginning of this often forgotten giant. Cyrus the Great began his momentous ascent around the year 559 BC. He first skillfully united the various Persian tribes under his single command. Then, with his combined forces, he turned his ambitious attention to the Median Empire. The Medes were at that time the overlords of the Persians, but their once strong rule was showing signs of weakening and internal division. Cyrus bravely challenged their authority. In a surprising and pivotal turn of events, many Median nobles chose to join Cyrus. He successfully defeated the Median king, Astyages, absorbing his kingdom. With the lands of Media now secured, Cyrus looked further west with determined eyes. The Lydian kingdom, located in modern-day Turkey, was his next major target. Lydia was famed throughout the ancient world for its immense wealth. Its king, Croesus, was legendary for his riches. Croesus, misinterpreting a Delphic oracle, rashly attacked Cyrus. He believed the oracle predicted he would destroy a great empire. He did indeed destroy a great empire, but tragically it was his very own. Sardis, the magnificent Lydian capital, fell swiftly to the determined Persian forces. Cyrus, true to his character, showed mercy to the defeated Croesus. Babylon, the glittering jewel of Mesopotamia, was the next grand prize. Its defensive walls were legendary, considered impenetrable by many. Its history stretched back for millennia, a beacon of ancient civilization. Yet in the year 539 BC, the mighty city of Babylon fell to Cyrus. It seems to have fallen without a prolonged or bloody siege. The people of Babylon, reportedly tired of their own unpopular king Nabonidus, welcomed Cyrus. He famously allowed exiled peoples, most notably the Jews, to return to their homelands. This compassionate act further cemented his growing reputation for tolerance and just rule. Cyrus's capable successors continued his monumental work of expansion and consolidation. His son, Cambyses II, successfully conquered the ancient land of Egypt. This added another of the world's oldest civilizations to the burgeoning Persian Empire. Darius the Great then took the throne, a truly exceptional organizer and ruler. He consolidated the vast gains and expanded the empire's borders even further. He pushed Persian influence into parts of Europe, crossing the Hellespont. He also campaigned east, towards the distant lands of the Indus Valley. At its peak, the empire was a vibrant mosaic of countless different peoples. It included over 70 distinct ethnic groups, all living under one Persian king. The Achaemenid Empire, when it reached its zenith, was a marvel of complex organization. Darius the Great proved to be not just a conqueror but a skilled administrator. He intelligently divided the vast territory into manageable provinces called satrapies. Each individual satrapy was governed by a satrap, a provincial governor. These satraps wielded considerable power within their own designated regions. However, they were always watched closely by the king's special agents. These agents were known as the eyes and ears of the king, ensuring loyalty. This system helped maintain control over the sprawling domains. To connect this immense and diverse realm, Darius ordered the construction of the Royal Road. This incredible highway was an engineering feat for its time. It stretched for over 2,500 kilometers, a lifeline across the empire. It ran all the way from Susa, a major Persian capital, to Sardis in western Anatolia. Fresh horses and determined riders were stationed at regular relay posts along its length. Royal messengers using this system could cover the entire distance in about 7 to 9 days. This speed was astonishingly fast for the ancient world, facilitating communication and control. It bound the distant parts of the empire together effectively. The empire actively fostered extensive trade and widespread economic prosperity. A standardized imperial currency was introduced by Darius. This included the gold daric and the silver siglos. This uniform coinage made commerce much easier across the empire's diverse regions. Weights and measures were also standardized, further aiding trade and fairness. The stability provided by the Pax Persica allowed agriculture and various crafts to flourish. Vast and sophisticated irrigation projects supported farming, even in arid lands. This economic strength was a cornerstone of the empire's enduring power. Culturally, the Achaemenid Persians were significant patrons of the arts and grand architecture. Imperial cities like Persepolis and Susa boasted magnificent palaces. These structures were adorned with intricate and beautiful relief carvings. These carvings often showcased the diversity of the empire's numerous peoples bringing tribute. The Persians cleverly adopted and skillfully adapted ideas from the many cultures they conquered. They created a unique and recognizable imperial artistic style. Their policy of tolerance for local customs, languages and religions was also a key feature. This fostered a sense of belonging among the varied subject population. Great empires, however mighty and well-organized they may seem, eventually faced daunting challenges. For the Achaemenid Persians, internal strife gradually became a persistent and corrosive problem. Disputes over the royal succession sometimes led to damaging civil wars between rival claimants. Ambitious and powerful satraps governing distant provinces could also rebel against central authority. The sheer vastness of the empire made it incredibly difficult to control everything perfectly. Maintaining cohesion across such distances and diverse populations was a constant strain. These internal weaknesses slowly began to erode the empire's foundations. External threats to the empire's borders also grew steadily over time. The fiercely independent Greek city-states, particularly Athens and Sparta, resisted Persian expansion attempts into Europe. Famous battles such as Marathon, Thermopylae and Salamis marked these prolonged conflicts. While the Persians often viewed these Greek wars as minor border skirmishes in a vast empire, they significantly boosted Greek confidence and fostered a sense of shared Hellenic identity. The immense cost of these wars and of maintaining such a large standing army also drained the imperial treasury. This financial burden added to the growing pressures on the state. The final decisive blow came not from within, but from the west. A young and ambitious Macedonian king, Alexander, launched a full-scale invasion of Persia. History would come to know him as Alexander the Great. Alexander was an undisputed military genius with a disciplined and loyal army. He defeated the numerically superior Persian armies in a series of stunning and pivotal battles. These included Granicus, Issus and Gaugamela. The Persian king Darius III was eventually betrayed and killed by one of his own satraps. In the year 330 BC, the once mighty Achaemenid Empire officially fell. Alexander became the new master of its vast and diverse territories. Though the Achaemenid Empire itself vanished from the world map, its legacy endured powerfully. Persian ideas of governance and imperial administration significantly influenced later empires. These included Alexander's own Hellenistic kingdoms and even the later Roman Empire. The concept of a vast, multicultural empire with a strong centralized administration was a Persian innovation. Their impressive road systems, efficient postal service, and standardized coinage set new standards for rule. Remembering this forgotten empire helps us understand the deep interconnectedness of the ancient world. It clearly shows how civilizations learn, adapt, and build upon the achievements of those before them. Its echoes resonate even today in how nations are governed.